Welcome to the CEO Insider Podcast brought to you by YTexas. My name is Sandy McIlree. In this episode, we'll talk to the CEO of FMG, Furniture Marketing Group, Greg Almond. FMG was founded in 1981 by Greg's father, Cleon, and Bob Reese. Greg will share with us how important the look and feel of a company is to attracting and keeping talent, how a Fortune 100 company lost a CFO candidate simply because their office was dismal. Greg also shares with us his thoughts on the future of business in Texas and much more. Enjoy the CEO Insider Podcast brought to you by YTexas with Greg Almond. Greg, I'm very excited to talk to you because it's really funny how the world works. I was recently at the Dell Medical Center. I was going there to pick up a buddy of mine, and he was running late, and I hadn't been into the Dell Medical Center yet. And so I said, well, he said he's going to be about 30 minutes. I've got time to look around. And as I was looking around, I was absolutely blown away at how the place was furnished and how it was designed. And I was like, I got to look more into this. And so I did some digging around and come to find out it was you and your company that did it. Yeah. And then I find out I'm going to be talking to the guy whose company did this next week. I couldn't believe it.
I know. It's interesting how those things come about. I think we're much closer than we realize at any given time to being right next door or across the street from somebody that we don't even know that's there. But I'm glad you were able to see that facility. It's impressive. It
is impressive. Can you share with us how that project came to life for you? The beginning of it and how the process worked?
You bet. We had done business with Dell for a number of years. When we first moved into the Austin office, we actually did an acquisition. There was a company there, so we instantly inherited a number of employees, and after a general introduction, I asked, does anybody know anyone with Dell? And I got giggles in the room with people I didn't even know. They said, well, of course we do. And I said, well, can anyone here get us an appointment? And they said, well, yeah, we can get an appointment, but they're already buying from a competitor of ours, and that deal was done 2 years ago. And I said, can you get us an appointment? Mm-hmm. So long story short, within 18 months, we ended up taking that business over, and we're doing business with Dell. Several years later, we had started a division of our company to go after the healthcare market because it was growing so fast. And with healthcare, you have to specialize. It's not, everyone doesn't know about healthcare, but the thing that we saw was that healthcare, like higher education, had started paying a lot of attention to their interiors and what was actually going on in a facility besides just the operating rooms or the critical care areas. They wanted to have a design and match products and manufacturers to create a facility or a feeling that was different than other facilities, other hospitals. And they did that successfully. And when they interviewed our team and understood our experience, we were instantly, it wasn't even a bid situation. We were instantly brought on board as a team to participate in making that facility a success.
Well, congratulations. You did make it a success. And I don't know how old you are. I'm 50, and my experience growing up in healthcare facilities, hospitals, and things like that really resembled One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest as far as design and furniture. And the world has really changed, and I think people they're expecting more. They want it to be nicer, and it can attract them to their business as well if it looks great.
There's no doubt about it. You know, our industry, I just came from our 37th Christmas party across town, and I ran back to the office to sit down and have a chat with you. But in sitting there and thinking about 37 of these that we've done, what has changed? And for us, when we first started the company, we really were selling a service and a product that was kind of a commodity. Mm-hmm. And what changed for us was the kind of free market and competition, and whether you're a higher education, whether you're a healthcare facility, or corporate America, there is an avid competition for talent. Mm-hmm. And that competition for talent has now come into the area where the facility can be used as an asset instead of just a place to work. If properly designed and properly fit out and finished, potential employees and existing employees are impacted when it comes to retention or attraction of the competition of talent. And that's what's going on in the markets we serve today.
Do you have any, I put you on the spot a little bit here, but any examples or stories of people that have lost out on really quality talent because of the way that their office was designed or how it was, how the furniture was?
You know, we do. It was interesting. Probably 6 months ago, we had a client in the office. It was a new potential client. We were being interviewed as one of the suppliers to take them into a new facility. And because it was a household name and a new client, I kind of stuck my head in to see what was going on and immediately realized that I was sitting across the table from the CFO to a Fortune 100 company. Wow. After we talked about what they were trying to accomplish, I just came out and asked, what's the CFO doing involved in planning your new facility? Or really, in this case, they were renovating an existing building. Mm-hmm. And he said, Greg, I'll tell you why I'm here. He said, I'm about to retire, and for the last 2 years, I've been trying to hire my replacement. It's a high-level project for our company. We don't need to skip a beat. Finance is very important. And so we hired a search firm to help us find this new candidate. After we've narrowed it down, we came to a decision, and I had a handshake deal with what I feel is not just a quality candidate, but somebody that could probably take us to a new level from a financial perspective. Mm-hmm. A week later, I was back in front of that candidate, and he told me that as much as he hated it, he wasn't going to go to work here. And it really blew me away. I said, well, what can we do? I know you agreed with the package, you agreed with the benefits. I felt like we had a deal. And he said, frankly, I can't work in your facility.
Oh.
And the company that I'm going to work with, I was blown away. They had a similar package, but when I thought about where I want to spend my career, their facility was the kind of place that I want to work. And he said, so we're going to add windows, we're going to bring daylight in, we're going to have a great design, and we want to work with a company that can help us accomplish that. So it was music to my ears and really the answer for why we have experienced growth in our company. Mm-hmm. But the situation today is that the employees are any company's greatest asset. And if you don't have a facility and a surrounding and an environment that attracts and retains those people, corporate America has a real problem. So it's a huge opportunity for us.
It's interesting. I'm assuming that this candidate that you're talking about being a CFO is not a millennial. And what you just said and what you shared about the importance of the environment in which people go to every single day, it sounds like a very millennial thing to say. Do you know what I mean by that? In that millennials they don't want walls. They want open workspace. They want to be able to come and go. But it's truly not just a millennial thing. It's a human thing.
It really is. You know, I think they've used that tag name millennial mm-hmm. so much, but really it's a change. And I think anytime a trend comes, you can kind of see what the shelf life is, but this isn't really a trend. In reality today, you're seeing what used to be commercial real estate and then residential design, completely different categories. Most of the spaces that we're doing, I'm going to say 95% of the new facilities that we're doing today really has more of a resimercial feel, if you will. Right. They're really blending the comfort, the fabrics, the finishes that you might 10 years ago might have associated more with the residential feel.
Right.
Today, they want that in their commercial space so that people feel comfortable, they want to be there, they want to work, and a lot of individuals with any given company, they're working as much at home as they are in the office, but there's a flip side of that. There are things that are going on in the office that maybe are more on personal time, and those blend together. And I think the ones that really have it figured out understand what people are wanting in a facility and in their environment, and they're very quick to go out and start with a great design and then hire a company like ours to bring the products and services to support that design criteria, and it's working beautifully with corporate America in the markets we serve.
Do you feel like people, when they make decisions, let's use your CFO candidate again as an example, do you think that people, when they see an environment that they like, that they just know it, or is it one of those things that it just happens? They feel comfortable there, or are they going in going, boy, I better like what this looks like, or I'm not going to work here? Is it a emotional response, or is it just a conscious response?
Yeah, I think it's an emotional response. You know, I know we've been in business for 37 years, mm-hmm. and you have to have, what you stand for, what your values are. But it's a leap of faith when somebody joins an organization and they don't really know, are you going to walk the walk, and are you going to walk the talk? Are you really going to do what you said you were going to do? Mm-hmm. But when they walk into an environment, they know immediately, hey, I like this. They can see it, they can touch it, they can feel it. It really helps with that, that jump that they may be considering making, or an employee that has worked somewhere for 20 years. I see it over and over. When we redo a space, when we bring a new environment in, it really sends a message to that employee, whether it's a new or someone who's been around a while. Wow, look what this company is doing. They're spending money, and they're making effort to make sure that we have what we want and what we need from a company, from an environment standpoint.
Greg, is this business? How much original thought is going into the design, or is this a situation where it's a copycat, where you just go, let's find out what the competition's doing and let's just do that, but we'll do it just a little bit different and do it our way? I'm sure there are people that are doing that. I'm curious what the divide is. Is it 50% of people are doing that, 100%? Are we going to see the same thing over time in every office?
I really don't think we are, because the thing about this business and being able to work with so many different companies, these companies are still individuals. They still have their own values, the things that they stand for, and starting with good design is key. And I think, the design comes from a series of meetings, sitting down with the client to understand, who are you, where have you been, where do you want to go, and what can you tell us is important. Mm-hmm. But we take that, and then we generally run 2 or 3 different scenarios. So we can show them here's what you asked for, but here's something that we suggest. But then we'll take it out a step further and say, this is what we're seeing added on top of that. So really, it makes it easy for a potential end user who's going to undergo such a project to look at that and decide, how far do we want to go? We can pick and choose what we like and don't like. Then you really have a baseline set. From that point, getting buy-off really makes the entire process easier as you go forward, because there's reason behind every department, every room, every part of the facility.
This really seems to play well into all of the corporate relocation that is happening in Texas. I just talked to the mayor of Frisco the other day. We were talking about the PGA of America moving their headquarters from West Palm Beach to Frisco. So to compete for those types of companies, you've got to have your stuff together, and that comes right down to exactly what you're talking about and making that a comfortable workplace.
You bet. It's critical. I think The other thing is having a workforce, a talented, educated workforce available. All of those things are very early in the cycle, of course, but then when it gets down to building the building and doing the facility, it really is the icing on the cake. You can do all of these other things great, but if the end result is not something that really sings, you can miss the mark. So it's a real challenge, but we find over and over that if companies will spend the time to really plan and then work the plan, it can come off beautiful.
Greg, let's talk more about talent. We've mentioned it several times, the importance of getting good talent in under your roof. How do you see that? How do you see the future of Texas as far as creating native talent, not only in your industry but broadly?
I think it starts with your education platform. The thing that I'm seeing, we're very involved with the Dallas Regional Chamber, and they have taken steps with working with all of the local colleges and universities to really push and pump and bring programs together that create and connect businesses with these graduates of these schools. I mean, there's a hunger out there and an appetite by corporate America in the North Texas market. We're in Austin, Houston, and Oklahoma City. They all have the same thing, the same things going on, the same criterias, but I really think that having strong education just it manufactures talent and people coming out into the workforce, and getting those people hooked up with these companies is key to the success.
I'm going to pretend that there's a young person just coming out of school, maybe with their undergrad, maybe with their master's. What kind of things do you look for, other than that diploma, do you look for in talent to hire?
It still boils down to attitude and somebody that wants to go out and accomplish and grow. I think everybody naturally says that they've got that attitude and they want to grow and they want to be a part of something that is exciting, new. But I think it's really important that people that are coming into the workforce today find an industry, a company that they really enjoy. I heard that a long time ago. My father shared that with me. Find something that you like to do and you'll be successful. We've all heard that, but over and over, that's what I see. If we can get them matched up with a company that really fits them, I think the opportunity is huge out there.
I know that you've done quite a bit of work, done some projects with companies relocating to the state of Texas. Could you share with us some of your personal experiences with them and how well they integrate into the state and into the culture of Texas?
Yeah, one I think of immediately is Kubota. When they moved from California here, the thing that they did is that they took the extra time and effort to get involved with the community early. They started having, I can remember the ribbon cutting that they had and some of the things that they did to announce their involvement. The fact that a year and a half before they were even here, they had their top management here getting involved socially, getting involved in the community, and really making an extra effort not to just show up when the facility was done, but they were here a year in advance and already started putting their roots down. And by the time they opened that facility, it was like they had already been here for 2 or 3 years. I think that's key. I don't know if that was a specific plan that they made, but I saw that work beautifully in that move from California.
Yeah, you gotta really get out there. The old saying, get out, shake hands, kiss babies. But in Texas, it's a good idea to get out there on the barbecue circuit.
Absolutely,
get out there and
we see that time and time again with these companies, and it is Yeah, I think it makes all the difference in the world.
The short answer here for you, you don't have to go on too much, but what do you think about the growth around the state? And what do you think about the next 20, 30 years for the state of Texas?
It just seems to be wide open. It's exciting. We work very closely with leaders in the interior design firms in the markets that we serve, as well as the real estate, the brokerage community. And it's exciting for me. I'm always trying to be out in front and ahead of what's coming. And, several of the people that I've talked to and network with, we're very much a lagging indicator. We typically are involved in a project after it's already decided, but every one of these and every one of the markets that we're in are talking about things that are 18 months, 2 years out. And so it appears that the barometer is really set for continued growth. We've got lots of resources here. We've got lots of land and capability to expand. It seems like it's going to continue. We're really excited about it.
And finally, we're glad that you're a part of YTexas and, taking part in the role in shaping the future of Texas. And just your thoughts on YTexas as a group.
It was interesting. The first time I ever talked to Ed, he talked about us getting involved in YTexas. And I kind of thought, I knew Ed as a customer before he really started the group. But when he talked about it, it was a no-brainer. This makes all the sense in the world, and it was something that I did not have to be talked to very much to get involved. But now that it's been 3 years that we've been involved with YTexas, I think it's a great organization. It really caters to that leadership, the CEO, the presidents of these organizations that are either making a move, considering a move, or just moved here. And they really do a nice job of just shoehorning them right in to the market, to the community, to other business leaders. And it's, to me, it's an organization that has been needed for a long time. They really don't have an agenda as far as where they're located, just that they come to Texas and come to this marketplace. And I think they're doing a really great job.
Well, Greg, I appreciate your time. I look forward to meeting you at a future YTexas event. And I enjoyed chatting with you. Thank you very much for your time.
Sandy, I appreciate it and look forward to meeting you soon.
All right, buddy. You take care. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.